Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. Jason, Dedeker, how are we doing today?
So good.
So good.
Emily's knocking her microphone over.
Had some mic issues over there.
Just flailing out. We're good.
I'm good. I feel like the jet lag hit me, and for those of you who are listening are like, weren't you just jet lagged? Yes, I was just jet lagged, and I'm jet lagged again because I take long flights all the time, and if I keep doing this, we're going to have to change this to jet lag Bible study, honestly.
I don't think that sounds nearly as fun.
I mean, I'm assuming roughly the same thing will happen as if you were drunk.
I suppose.
Maybe you'll just be more sleepy.
Sometimes I'm more silly. Sometimes I'm actually sillier when I'm jet lagged than when I'm drunk.
It does depend. Yeah, it does depend.
Yeah.
But I'm doing great. I'm full of energy and full of life.
How? It's because you have a higher constitution than Dedeker?
He definitely does.
I have a higher constitution score.
He most definitely does. I fail those checks all the time.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But so today we're reading only 2 chapters.
What?
Just Genesis 30 and 31.
Okay.
Continuing the story of Rachel and Jacob.
Yeah, and what happened in that story last time, Emily?
Well, I just wanted to say quickly that 2 chapters, when you read it in your Bible, which you gave me my Bible.
Yes.
And when I look at it, it's actually like maybe 2 pages.
Yes.
Like it's nothing. Then it's a huge book. So it just like gives me pause because I'm like, wow, we've got a long way to go.
Do some perspective.
Long way to go. But what happened last time? A lot. Basically, Jacob dressed up like his brother.
Yeah.
Jacob cosplayed. It was the first instance of cosplaying.
Exactly. He cosplayed as his brother with some goat fur, and he was trying to get a blessing out of his dad, and he got it. And then he went later on and met this chick Rachel, which is actually his cousin, which is kind of awkward, but I guess not as awkward back in these biblical times.
Yeah,
and
totally normal.
He told his, I guess, uncle, awkward, mega awkward, like, oh, I love Rachel, so I'll work for you for 7 years, and then I can be her husband. And the guy was like, cool, yeah, let's do it. And then he worked, and then on the night that he was supposed to get her to be with her, to go into her,
yes,
to go into her, it was actually Leah, which is her older sister, which is also his cousin, but she actually had like bad eyes or something. I don't know what that means.
For all we know, Leah didn't even know where she was that night.
Exactly.
Maybe she was blind.
Yeah, she was blind,
shoved into a tent
which
by
is
her dad.
Really awkward and sad and very
Her story is
upsetting.
very sad.
It's very upsetting when you think hard about it, like what that actually entailed and meant. But then all of a sudden, Jacob had this other wife. He had consummated this marriage with this other person that was not Rachel. And he was like, well, but I really want Rachel. And they were like, okay, you can get her in a week, but only if you have sex with Leah for a week straight. And then also nonstop. And then also work for me for another 7 years. And Jacob was like, yeah, man, no problem. And so then he became Rachel's wife too. But then Rachel was husband, multiple wives, one husband.
Yes.
The end. Yeah. But then,
wow.
But then Leah was not barren, and Rachel was, and Leah bore him at least 4 children. We don't know if it was more because they don't like to talk about women in this book.
Right.
Like daughters.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it was a bunch of boys, and then she stopped, and that's where we were at.
And there were 4 boys, right?
4 boys.
Do you remember their names?
No.
Okay. Remember there was the Gene father?
Oh, there was Levi.
Yes, he was
the Gene boy.
He was the youngest of the four.
Levi.
There was the sandwich boy.
Oh, yeah, Reuben.
Yeah.
Reuben the sandwich boy.
Reuben the sandwich boy.
Thank you.
There was not Iscariot.
Oh, Judah.
Right? Not Judas. Judah.
Who's the fourth one?
I don't know if I have a mnemonic for him.
Yeah.
It's Simeon.
Oh, not
yeah,
Simon, but not.
Not Simon.
Simon,
Simeon.
but not.
Yeah.
Simeon. Okay. Almost got it.
Yeah.
Great.
That
Okay.
was great. Okay,
Yes.
I love the new nicknames for
Yeah.
all these boys, I have to say.
Well, it would actually help me a lot in remembering names of people if we had good mnemonics for them.
Seriously, there are way too many people already in this freaking book.
It's true.
Way too many.
And we've already been confusing them. So.
And there's also people switching their names halfway through.
My question is, when can I start forgetting about some people to make room for new people?
Never, Emily. You got to commit all this.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. No wonder people read this book a million times. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are we drinking today?
Oh, goodness.
Well, Emily and I, we're drinking another St. Archer beer, but just the normal Z's IPA.
It's just IPA, not Mosaic IPA.
Yeah.
There are no
kaleidoscopes.
There are no kaleidoscopes in this one, just normal hops.
Yep. Just hops.
So I'm here drinking the blonde ale, and actually I haven't even opened it yet, so let me actually just taste it.
Woo!
Got some good sound effects there.
Yeah, I know.
Good Foley work here
Right?
with our beer sound effects.
Oh yeah, so that's a St. Archer blonde ale. It tastes kind of
Blonde.
tastes like buttered toast to me.
Huh. Nice.
Maybe not so buttery, but definitely toasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tastes like buttered toast. We're passing it around like communion wine for those of you listening at home.
I'm gonna
Oh, it smells like buttered toast.
Yeah.
should call it a buttered toast ale.
You should contact them and rewrite their copy
like,
on the
hey,
side there.
How about some completely unsolicited advice?
Yeah.
This is why I don't like ales like that. It's just like funky and weird at the end. It's kind of like
Oh.
blah, blah,
Mm.
See, I feel like with IPAs, it's funky and weird the entire time. It's
But I'd
even
rather
like,
have that than
even
at
when
the
it's not
end.
even in your mouth, when it's like sitting on the table next to you, it's still funky and
really?
weird.
Really?
I
Like, it
prefer
gets
that
ya
kind of
even
funk
from-
and weird.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Emily, I wanted to give you some fun stits and stats.
Oh, yeah?
Actually,
Oh,
that I
yeah?
was looking up the other day. So you were talking about like how long the Bible is and how long it takes.
Yeah.
So based on the average reading speed of the average person, just the Old Testament will take you a little bit over 52 hours to read if you're going straight through. So like reading
Without
1 hour.
bathroom breaks or anything?
Right.
No
So, like,
food breaks?
if you read 1 hour a week, you could read the Old Testament in
in
1
a year. Yeah.
Right. And the New Testament will take 18 hours.
Much shorter.
Because the New Testament's basically like a third
It's a
the
baby
size of the Old Testament. So like if the whole Bible, like 1/4 of it's New Testament and 3/4 of it is Old Testament. So a lot more Old Testament. And if you're going to read it out loud, it will take you 70 hours and 40 minutes at pulpit rate, which
What's
I
pulpit
love.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What
Is
does
that
that
different
mean?
from like your normal spoken like?
I think they just
reading out
mean
loud rate?
I think they just mean reading out loud rate. But
Maybe that's like you're going to town on it. You are like shouting it from
I
the
see.
rooftops.
Yes, I
Maybe.
think pulpit rate is slower because you're being dramatic.
Exactly.
So
so?
I really want to make sure people hear it and understand it, and they're getting the important part. So I think pulpit rate is like
Here we are with
it's like
God.
50 words a minute.
well, it's interesting because I looked up on Audible the complete Bible as an audiobook,
Oh.
and it was. Do you remember what it was? It was something like
So many
80 hours
like,
long, or like
80
100 hours. It was
yeah.
it was super long. There's a few different versions, but like the James Earl Jones reads the Bible
What?
audiobook.
James?
Yes,
Yeah.
James.
Did he read the King James?
He did actually. Yes, he read the King James Earl Jones Bible. And that I saw that, and the time to read it was like 22 hours for that audiobook, and I was like, bullshit. That's
Gotta be
not
abridged.
And so then I looked into it more, and it's like, yeah, it's got to be abridged because the full complete Bible that's read by like a bunch of celebrities is like 80 plus hours.
Wait, what did they cut out of the James Earl Jones Bible?
I don't know. That's maybe something for another time.
Yeah,
We could
that is a
research
question.
that.
We didn't.
Gotta call James.
Hey, James.
What did you leave out?
Yeah, what was the deal?
James, why? Why would you do that?
Oh man.
All right.
I also had a fun sit and stat for our Catholic listeners here.
Okay.
And that's that in Catholic church or any church that follows the lectionary, where there's like set readings that get read every Sunday in church. And it repeats every 3 years. So there's sort of like a cycle of readings from the Bible that the pastor will read through, or the father or whoever will read through.
Does everyone get excited when you get towards Revelation?
I don't know.
Excited? I don't know. They know it's all just going to repeat again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and they're all kind of spread throughout. So it's not like you're reading through a whole book.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
But here's the deal. A lot of Catholics, I found from looking at message boards online, are under the impression that if you go every week on Sunday for 3 years for the repeat of this, you will have read most of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
False.
Oh.
You will have read less than 13%.
What?
Of the Bible after 3 years of going every single week to Catholic Mass.
Why? Because
you
they
will
read
have read
so little?
only 3.7% of the Old Testament and 40% of the New Testament.
Because most of Mass and honestly most of church services are not reading the Bible.
Reading the Bible.
It's a pastor or a priest giving you some Bible verses and then giving like a sermon.
About what?
About those, like about some kind of principle from the Bible. But it's not just someone sitting there reading the Bible to you. It's like an interpretation of the Bible. And so really in any given Mass or church service, you're getting like maybe less than 10 verses at a time.
Yeah. So even if you are one of the Catholics who goes to daily Mass, so you're going to Catholic Mass every single day of the week, again for that same cycle,
you'll still only get like 12%.
27%. But so 12% if you go every week, once a week. If
Oh,
you
I
go
thought that
every
you said
single
3%.
3% of the Old Testament.
Okay, sorry.
So if you go once a week, you'll get 13% basically of the Bible. And if you go even every single day, you only get 27%.
Goodness.
So this podcast is a very ambitious thing.
It is a very ambitious thing, but I think a necessary thing. But, well, okay, part of the reason why, Jace, I know you ended up with those stats and stats is because the fact that when you were researching, you found another stat that said, like, supposedly 1 in 5 Americans have read the entire Bible.
Self-report
that they have read the entire Bible.
And so lie.
Oh, yeah, exactly. No, as soon as I was like, BS, bull hockey.
Bull stuff.
Bull stuff.
Bull poop.
Because seriously, I was like,
Mormon.
no. And like, I totally understand how you could get that impression going to church every single week.
You think like, I must have read most of it.
You think like, we've touched on every single book of the Bible, or like, and so you kind of think
as
like,
it may.
Yes.
These books are very dense.
Here's the funny thing too, in looking into the stuff about the Catholic lectionary, there are books of the Bible that are never read. So
like
it's
what?
not
Like what?
You don't even get certain sections. I don't know which specific ones.
I want to know.
There's big sections of the Bible that are just not even touched. So like it's even that idea that like I've read a little bit of everything probably or been exposed to it all in church.
Even that?
Also
haven't.
Probably not true.
I'm not going to lie to you both. I was flipping.
Yeah, okay.
my Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And I saw like, I forget what it was called, but I saw a section that was basically just like name after name after name after name after name. It's coming up. It's not coming up
probably
soon.
in like numbers or something.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought there was around Psalms.
We're gonna have to figure out something to do with the genealogies.
Well, we've got a ways to go. So
We'll find some drinking games or something to make it fun.
yeah.
Or
And
we'll
with
That's
see
gonna be
read
a
it.
lot of drinking. Okay.
It is.
Speaking of drinking and reading, we would like to remind our listeners to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
And you can drink along with us, or you can listen with us in the car.
But please don't do both at the same time. Thank you. And with that, Genesis 30. We're back to the World English Bible, which is exciting. I actually liked it more than I thought that I would. So let's try this again. When Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister. Because it's all about siblings envying each other and hating each other.
You're right.
This is not good. Like, I was an only child pretty much. I have half siblings, but I never grew up with them.
Yeah.
But y'all did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we grew up with siblings. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I think if you're also in a culture where everyone is taking favorites very obviously, very obviously taking favorites, that definitely engenders some sibling rivalry.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit different from, being raised modern day in the States where parents are trying to be more egalitarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the idea that you love one more than the other is like a shameful, like you better not admit that or
Don't
say that.
At a time when it's like, nah, man, I love this. This one's my favorite. No, this one I'm going to leave everything to. It's like, of course you'd feel kind of put out.
Do you feel like your parents liked
favorites?
one more than the other?
This is a tricky conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the best way I would explain it is I think that my brother and I each had just different relationships with our parents. So depending on the context, one might seem like a favorite in certain ways.
Yeah, I could get on board with that.
A parent's going to relate to one kid more in these certain ways and the other kid more in these other ways.
Yeah.
Well, I was my mom's favorite.
Well,
because you were the only
obviously,
one. I know.
Jeez.
Even though my mom loved my two best friends growing up, James and Tina, and she still hangs out with them.
Definitely not the
I was
same.
still her favorite.
Definitely not the same. You're supposed to be her favorite.
I was the only one, so she didn't really get a choice. Okay. Rachel envied her sister. She said to Jacob, "Give me children or else I will die."
Wow.
Wow, she's really dramatic.
Yeah.
Quite an ultimatum there.
Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, "Am I in God's place who was withheld from you the fruit of the womb?"
So Jacob's
Who
like,
has
it's
withheld.
not my fault.
Yeah, he's like, "Sorry, I'm not God."
I want to start like a brand of underwear, Fruit of the Womb.
Oh,
Chase
no.
Lindgren. I don't know who you are sometimes.
Jason Patrick Lindgren.
Yeah, seriously. She said, "Behold, my maid, Bilhah." Okay, we've done this before.
Yeah, we've been here before.
Wow. Okay, is this whole story, this whole
Just
book,
repetition.
just going to be a rehashing of things that their parents
I don't know.
did?
No, I think it's more a rehashing of like these
What
are
was normal
these are
at the
common
time.
cultural customs at the time.
I'd say.
Though we've seen a lot of repetition through the generations, which again reminds me of 100 Years of Solitude.
Oh, you keep bringing it back.
This
Yeah.
reminds me of The Handmaid's Tale.
Well, yes, that. She is literally a handmaid
Exactly.
in this translation.
Who's
so,
being used for a uterus.
Yeah.
She said, "Behold, my maid."
Oh, we have to drink for
Yeah,
behold.
behold. Yeah,
Behold.
okay. Keep going.
"Behold, my maid Bilhah. Go into her." Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've covered this one already.
"Go into her that she may bear on my knees." What?
Eh?
She's
So
going
I
to
think-
sit on her knees.
Yeah, I
while
think this
he's
is explained to me that
doing
part
her.
of the ritualistic part of this, of like giving your servant to get pregnant, is that when your servant was in labor, there was some kind of ritualistic thing where she would like sit on your lap as though like the baby's coming out between your legs, essentially.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. "That she may bear on my knees, and I may also may obtain children by her. She gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, as wife, and Jacob went into her." Jacob
like,
was
no
like, "Whatever,
problem."
okay, sure." "Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son." Rachel said, "God has judged me, and has also heard my voice, and has given me a son. Therefore," she called his name Dan?
Good old Dan.
Wait a minute. It's like all these really epic names, and then Dan.
And then Dan
Yeah.
shows
I
up.
didn't know Dan was a biblical name.
Well, Daniel is.
Yeah, but this is not
I know.
Dan.
I know. I didn't realize there
It's
was just a Dan.
Dan.
Okay.
It like if you ask someone like Dan, like, "Oh, okay, your name's Dan. Is it short for Daniel?" And he's like, "No, it's just Dan."
No, it's the biblical name Dan. Duh.
Yeah, duh. In the story of Rachel and Bilhah. Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, conceived again and bore Jacob a second son.
So she's just really fruitful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everyone but poor Rachel. Rachel said, "With mighty wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister and have prevailed."
Well, she really hasn't, because technically Leah's still ahead of her by 2 sons.
yeah, exactly.
And
Come on.
also sons out of her own uterus. So
Exactly,
for
so
being technical about this.
you're not really
Also,
any-
with many wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister, I have to look up another version of this.
Yeah, or with mighty wrestlings. Like, I don't think she's actually wrestled at all.
I see. The Message Bible says, "I've been in an all-out fight with my sister, and I've won." So she named him Naphtali, which means fight.
She named him Naphtali.
Yes.
When Leah saw that she had finished bearing, she took Zilpah, her handmaid, and gave her to Jacob as a wife.
Oh, it's a competition.
Yes. It's just the whole back and forth.
It's like, here's my handmaid, here.
This super intense sibling
And
rivalry.
Jacob's like, whoa, okay, I guess I'll do her too.
I guess it makes sense why we got the names of the handmaids earlier.
right.
This is ridiculous.
Okay.
Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, bore Jacob a son. Leah said, how fortunate. And she named him Gad.
Good old Gad and Dan.
I think that
Wait,
there
who
like
is the second son?
Naphtali.
Naphtali, and
Yeah.
then Gad and Dan.
Okay.
Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, bore Jacob a second son. Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me happy. Who? What daughters?
I don't know.
Remember the daughters that just haven't been named, I guess?
What? We didn't even allude to any daughters happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe even more children? I don't
I think there were a bunch of other children we just haven't heard about.
This is ridiculous. Okay. Leah said, happy I am, for the daughters will call me happy. She named him Asher. Reuben went...
so hang on.
Asher, catcher of Pokemon.
Okay, so now we're back to Reuben, who is the first son born to Leah.
Okay,
right?
Right.
the sandwich.
Yeah, the
He's
sandwich
the
boy.
firstborn,
Yes.
yeah.
Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes. The mandrakes like from Harry Potter?
I don't think the
Yeah,
same,
I
but
think so.
we can
No,
admit-
but they screech
I know
and they'll kill
scream.
you.
I know they'll kill you.
With the power of their screeches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he found mandrakes in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. I hope that they had earmuffs on.
I hope so
I
too.
assume so.
Then Rachel said to Leah, please give me some of your son's mandrakes. Oh, is that a euphemism for something?
I don't know.
I think she literally meant the mandrakes, but
She's like, I'm making a stew.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Mandrakes do.
ew, they looked like little babies.
Oh, in Harry Potter.
Yes.
I was so confused for a second.
She said to her, is it a small matter that you have taken away my husband?
Ooh.
Would you take away my son's mandrakes too?
This is a real toxic sibling relationship. Like,
yeah.
they are.
Whoa, they do not like each other.
Yeah.
No.
They do not like each other at all. Rachel said, therefore he will lie with you tonight for your son's mandrakes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, okay.
Wait a minute. What?
So, Rachel, okay. So, Rachel's like, hey, can I have some of those sweet mandrakes that your son brought in?
Those
and Leah's like,
sweet mandrakes.
you've already stolen my husband from me. You're not going to take these mandrakes also. And then Rachel's like, fine, I'll give you your husband tonight. Just give me those mandrakes.
Yeah, like you can do
Wow.
him tonight in exchange for mandrakes.
What? Guys, this
Jacob's-
is not a good metamor relationship.
No, not
That's
at
not
all.
what I'm saying.
In the midst of this, Jacob's just like, okay.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Okay.
He's probably enjoying every minute of it.
Oh, I bet he is. Ew.
Gosh.
Jacob came from the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, you must come in to me, for I have surely hired you with my son's mandrakes.
I have
Wait a minute. I can't even right now because, like, his body has been for hire. I love that these women are, like, throwing mandrakes at each other, being
Yeah.
like, here.
Like bartering.
fine, you get him tonight. Give me those mandrakes.
Gosh, I guess
Oh my
I guess
goodness.
I like at least that the selling of other people's bodies goes both ways.
At
No,
least
I
she's,
mean, I do
yeah, at least she's
appreciate
honest with
that.
him. She's like, listen, I gave up a huge bushel of mandrakes. You gotta come sleep with me tonight.
And I love that he's like, cool. He
Yeah.
lay with her that night.
Yep.
God listened to Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a fifth son.
Wait, there
so
were
they lied. They were like, she's done conceiving. And then it's like, nah, she ain't.
No, she gave away those mandrakes. She deserves a little something in return.
I see, and this is the fifth son of her own because there were
Yes.
these four other sons born
But no-
to the Handmaid's
Yeah,
Tales.
but they were just the Handmaid's Tales.
okay.
Leah said, God has given me my hire because I gave my handmaid to my husband. She named him Issachar. Issachar?
Let's say Issachar.
Yeah, I like that.
Leah conceived again.
Wow, she was not done at all.
Wow, and
What did
Boris,
she pay this time?
I don't know.
What kind of root vegetables were exchanged?
A million mandrakes. And bore a sixth son to Jacob. Leah said, God has endowed me with a good dowry. Now my husband will live with me because I have borne him 6 sons.
Don't
Just
hold your breath,
stop
Leah.
Chasing after him.
Yeah, why does she think that this son will be any different? Why? She named him Zebulun.
Zebulun. invader of foreign world.
Exactly.
Like spaceship commander Zebulon.
Yeah, he seriously is. Afterwards, she bore him a daughter and named him Dinah. Oh my gosh.
You named her?
Guys, named her Dinah.
You immediately were so excited you misgendered the daughter.
You're right. I'm sorry. She bore a daughter and named her Dinah. Wait a minute. I know that song by Regina Spektor.
What?
What?
What song? Sing it.
Samson. Oh,
That's
nope.
Delilah.
Delilah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
No, Dinah
But
is
Dinah-
like, someone's in the kitchen with Dinah.
Yeah. And then I know Dinah because I think that in the Aristocats,
Is there a character?
there was a
Dinah?
cat named Dinah?
Yeah, that sounds about
Or
right.
a child named Dinah?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's someone named Dinah. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we finally get a daughter with a name.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
She must be important then.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
Because they actually are going to talk about her. Okay. God remembered Rachel and God listened to her and opened her womb. What? He was like,
Oh, Emily.
Like Velcro? What was that sound effect you just
no,
did?
it was the like, that sounds gross.
Okay. Just
The opening of her womb.
Okay.
She conceived, bore a son, and said, God has taken away my reproach, and she named him Joseph in the amazing technical code, saying, may Yahweh add another son.
May Yahweh add another son to me. Okay.
It
see.
happened. It happened when Rachel had born Joko.
For Joko, Jonathan Colton.
Yep.
It happened when Rachel had born Joseph that Jacob said to Laban, send me away that I may go.
Jacob's like, I cannot. I just cannot. This is embarrassing.
That Jacob said to Laban, send me away that I may go to my own place and to my country. Give me my wives and my children for whom I have served you, and let me go, for you know my service with which I have served you.
So
Who's
does that-
Laban? Who's Laban again?
The father of
Oh, yeah.
Leah and
He's like, I am done. I have given y'all so many little ancestors.
Does this
It's implied that this all took
place
over
in
the course
7
of
years?
7 years.
What?
Maybe that then he's like, okay, I finished my second 7 years of work.
Or did he stick around a bit
It
longer?
could be. I feel like it could. Like,
I guess,
especially,
yeah, she had 5 kids. And
especially
then,
considering this is all happening like concurrently and like.
I mean, Leah had,
No, she had
6
6 kids.
over the course of 7 years.
And then
It's
Rachel had
possible.
Joseph. And always like that legitimate son is the most
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
well,
that-
Leah's are also legitimate.
That's true. That's
All right.
ridiculous, though. Goodness. Okay, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Laban said to him, if now I have found favor in your eyes, stay here, for I have divined that Yahweh has blessed me for your sake.
Cool.
He said, appoint me your wages, and I will give it. He said to him, you know how I have served you, and how your cattle have fared with me. Like, his cattle have fared well?
I
I
think
guess
so.
maybe they've
Go on.
multiplied.
I think he's going to clarify.
For it was little which you had before I came, and it has increased to a multitude.
It increased his cows.
I see. Yahweh has blessed you wherever I turned. Now when will I provide for my own house also? He said, what shall I give you? Jacob said, you shall not give me anything.
Oh, dude, it's the family tradition again.
What? If you will do
of
this...
insisting.
Like, you can't give me gifts.
No, you shall not give me
I've,
anything.
Only the stuff I've earned.
Yeah.
If you will do this thing for me, I will again feed your flock and keep it. I will pass through all your flock today, removing from there every speckled and spotted one, and every black one among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats.
Uh-huh.
This will be my hire, so my righteousness will answer for me hereafter when you come concerning my hire that is before you. Everyone that is not speckled and spotted among the goats and black among the sheep that might be with me will be counted stolen.
Right, so I'm only going to have black sheeps and spotted goats.
So you'll
Okay.
know that,
These are mine.
yeah, they didn't
Okay.
steal anything.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
Laban said, behold, I desire it to be according to your word.
All right, before we go on to the next chapter of the Bible, we want to take a quick moment to talk about how this show gets made and how you can help ensure that this show keeps getting made. And the best way to do that is to become one of our supporters on Patreon. So on our Patreon, which is at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy, we have several tiers where you can help support this show, as well as getting a bunch of cool benefits. So the first is that even for just $1 a month, you can become a member of our Patreon, and that helps us to keep this show going, as well as getting you access to being able to comment on the Patreon page, as well as read comments that we make or that other members make. At $6 a month, you can be a parishioner, which lets you get access to our bonus episodes, which we record basically every week to go along with the episode. Sometimes
They're very fun.
Yeah, they're super fun to do. Sometimes these are like more in-depth analysis or research on something, or sometimes it's an interview with an expert. Sometimes it's just watching movies or musicals based on the Bible together and joking about them or commenting on them. And then at $12 a month, you can become a disciple. And with that, in addition to becoming part of the community, getting all the bonus episodes and anything else that we put out, you also get ad-free episodes, and they come out 2 days early. So you get to be cooler than all of your friends because you already know those Bible chapters 2 days before them. So then when you listen together with them, you can be like, I knew that.
I knew that, obviously. Duh. No question.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So in addition to this, we're also really trying to reach our goal of getting 300 patrons. So this is a very exciting goal because once we reach it, we can start releasing 2 Bible studies a week instead of 1. And that's amazing. I mean, it means that you and we do not need to wait as long between episodes. We don't have to wait as long to record multiple episodes. Y'all don't need to wait as long to get those multiple episodes. So it's a win-win-win, win-win for everyone.
Also, we would absolutely love to hear what you think of the show. So if you can take 2 minutes out of your day to go to iTunes or to Stitcher and leave us a review, we would love to hear from you. Is there a particular chapter that really moved you as you heard us drunkenly read it and make jokes about it?
Wow.
What's your background? Were you also raised atheist like Emily was, or were you raised in the church, in the Christian church like Jason and I were? Were you raised in a completely different religion? We want to know your thoughts. So again, go to iTunes or go to Stitcher, leave us a review, let us know. Oh, behold, got a drink for the
behold, right. It's this tradition of like, we need to be very clear about why you can't dispute our ownership of certain things.
Yeah, this is so, I don't know. The times were different.
Yes.
Yeah,
indeed.
the times. Oh, the times.
That day he removed the male goats that were streaked and spotted, and all the female goats that were speckled and spotted, every one that had white in it, and all the black ones among the sheep, and gave them into the hand of his sons.
His very, very many sons.
Yes. He set 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob, and Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flock. Wait, who's he?
That Laban? Maybe Laban's like, okay, cool, like, we'll move. I have no idea.
Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, that's confusing.
Jacob took himself rods of fresh poplar.
Poplar.
Poplar? What's a poplar?
A tree.
A type of tree.
Rods of fresh poplar, almond, plane tree, peeled white streaks in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. He set the rods which he had peeled opposite the flocks in the gutters, in the watering troughs, where the flocks came to drink. They conceived when they came to drink. What? They were like, "Ooh, I got a baby."
Okay, I remember this now. This now.
What
is
is
that
this?
like? Jacob was like, "Hey, I'm gonna still take care of your flocks, but then before I leave, I'm gonna just take the ones that are speckled and spotted."
Right.
Okay. And Laban's like, "Cool, sounds great." And I think I remember this being explained to me also that like Jacob's kind of doing him a solid because the sheep that are like black and also speckled are less valuable. Like their wool is less valuable because it's not, it's not like pure white.
I see, because you can't dye it as
solid,
easily.
You can't dye it as easily.
Yeah, okay.
But what he's doing is while he's still watching all of Laban's flocks, he's encouraging the speckled ones to mate with
I
the other
see.
ones to produce more speckly ones.
So he
So
gets
that
a
he gets
bigger...
to
He
Even
gets
more?
more.
What
so shady.
boy.
So-
Yeah, shifty boy.
Very, very shifty boy.
Okay. All right. The flocks conceived before the rods, and the flocks brought forth streaked, speckled, and spotted.
Yeah, so he knows he's going to get a whole
I
bunch
see.
of...
Yeah.
Little cute speckled lambs.
Yeah.
Aw.
Jacob separated the lambs and set the faces of the flocks toward the streaked, and all the black in the flock of Laban, and he put his own droves apart and didn't put them into Laban's flock. It happened whenever the stronger of the flock conceived that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the flock in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But when the flock were feeble, he didn't put them in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's.
So he intentionally also bred them with, like, the stronger...
Only the good ones.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
The man increased exceedingly, and had large flocks, maid servants and manservants, and camels and donkeys. Where did these camels and donkeys come from?
I don't know. There wasn't any kind of tricksy animal husbandry going on, so we didn't get to hear about them.
I guess not. Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot of interesting things happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like vaguely familiar to me, but
Is
it's
it?
like just another example of Jacob being very like smart, but in like
Yes.
this kind of shady,
Very
dishonest, shitty
manipulative way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I'm sorry,
seriously.
poopy way.
Yeah, this long running family line of just being crafty.
Yeah, absolutely.
And manipulating people. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Genesis 31, y'all.
Okay, let's do
Yeah.
it. This is another long one. These both chapters are both
Jeez, okay.
fairly long.
So there
That's
was
why
this
there's
whole
only two.
animal
Yeah.
husbandry drama with all the speckledy goats.
Speckledy goats.
Okay.
Speckledy specks.
He heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob has taken away all that was our father's.
Whoa.
From that which was our father's has he gotten all this wealth. I guess that is true.
That's true, yeah.
Jacob saw the expression on Laban's face, and behold, it was not toward him as before.
Yeah.
Behold. So he was like happy and had a nice face, but then he had a bad face.
Yeah, then he was like, no. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate this guy.
Yahweh said to Jacob, return to the land of your fathers and to your relatives, and I will be with you. Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field to his flock and said to them, I see the expression on your father's face, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all of my strength. Your father has deceived me. I guess that's true. Laban did pull a fast one
That's
on him.
true.
He did do it first.
Totally did.
That's true. Okay. All right. Touche. Your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but God didn't allow him
guess.
to hurt me.
What does that mean? Like actual wages?
Has he
Seems
maybe
like
tried
he's
to pull other fast
tried to
ones?
renegotiate the deal
Oh,
maybe
okay,
multiple
okay.
times. This deal just keeps getting worse all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but God didn't allow him to hurt me. If he said this, the speckled will be your wages, then all the flock bore speckled. If he said this, the streaked will be your wages, then all the flock bore streaked. So I think Jacob's now also trying to be like, it's not my fault that like all these streaked babies are born.
That's kind
Yeah.
of a lie, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Thus, God has taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me.
I don't know if that's...
Wow.
Okay. All right.
It happened at the time that the flock conceived that I lifted up my eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, drink,
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
yes. We're drinking.
the male goats which leaped on the flock were streaked, speckled, and grizzled. That's a new description.
Okay.
We haven't gotten
Yeah.
that one
like,
before.
ugh.
That they're kind of rough and tough. The angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob. And I said, here I am.
Again.
Here, I'm here. God,
He
what?
said, now lift up your eyes and behold, all the male goats which leap on the flock are streaked, speckled, and grizzled, for I have seen all that Laban does to you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar, where you vowed a vow to me.
Remember back when he did that?
The oily rock, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Now arise, get out from this land, and return to the land of your birth. Rachel and Leah answered him, is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Aren't we accounted by him as foreigners? For he has sold us and has also quite devoured our money.
Whoa.
Whew, gosh,
What
Wait,
does
all
he
these.
that
sold?
mean?
Well,
sold them to him?
to
Well,
him,
to
Jacob.
Jacob in exchange for his 14 years of work.
Ugh.
For all the riches which God has taken away from our father, that is ours and our children's. Now then, whatever God has said to you, do. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives on the camels.
Get on those camels.
You just see him
get on
exactly,
them.
just one by one, boop, 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 boop. And he carried away all his cattle and all his substance which he had gathered, the cattle of his getting, which
That's a great turn of phrase.
You got him.
which he had gathered in Paddan Aram,
There it is again.
to go to Isaac his father to the land of Canaan. So he's going to go back home.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Come on. After 14 years, Isaac was pretty dang feeble.
Yeah, but you
And
know
they
how
were
long-
like, Isaac's going to die soon.
I'm pretty
Give
sure
me
Isaac
your
is
blessing.
Dead now.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't
they're
know.
like,
They didn't mention it. Usually everyone
go to
gets a
Isaac,
mention.
his father.
Yeah, usually everyone mentions when they die.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
This is random that like, Isaac ain't dead yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. Yeah.
Okay, so he sets everyone up on his camels, gets the cattle of his getting. He's going to return to Canaan. Okay. Now, Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel stole the teraphim that were her father's.
What is that?
Oh boy.
What the heck is
Let's
teraphim?
try to find out. What verse is this? 19?
Yeah. I have a guess, but I think because I remember what it is.
What's your guess?
I think I remember in a different translation reading something that like the teraphim are like the household idols.
Nailed it.
Ah.
Correct.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, that they're in some it calls them like the idols, like the household idols. Some it's like the what's the word they use? Like icons.
Mm.
Is another word that's
Wait,
used.
I thought they weren't allowed to do that.
Well, this is
Well-
again from kind of a murky time where people maybe were worshiping more than one deity.
Yeah. And to be fair, the whole like don't do that has not happened yet.
Oh.
You
That's
just-
not
you
until the
just
10
kinda-
Commandments.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her father's idols, her father's household gods. That's most often how it's being translated.
Household gods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stolen the images that were her father's,
Mhm.
like his
Okay, so-
posters of Abraham.
So the teraphim. Okay, so Rachel stole the teraphim that were her father's. Jacob deceived Laban the Syrian in that he didn't tell him that he was running away.
That's the deception.
He's like, I'm running away.
So he fled with all that he had. He rose up, passed over the river, and set his face toward the mountain of Gilead. Laban was told on the third day that Jacob had fled.
Gilead.
Oof.
Yeah.
Gilead. That's the name
Of what?
of the place, the new
In
Handmaid's Tale.
Yes, it's the Republic of Gilead, right?
Yeah,
Right,
in
right.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Wait,
good.
what is Gilead?
This mountain.
It's a mountain.
Oh.
I think it comes back again later. Okay. He took his relatives with him and pursued him after 7 days' journey. So Laban's like, heck no, you don't. I'm coming
chasing
after
him
you.
down.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
He overtook him in the mountain of Gilead.
Whoa.
God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream of the night, not a dream of the day, and said to him, "Take heed to yourself that you don't speak to Jacob either good or bad."
Oh.
Interesting.
Just like be neutral with
Just
him.
be neutral. Okay.
Yeah.
Laban caught up with Jacob. Jacob's like, oh, crap. Now, Jacob had pitched his tent in the mountains.
Pitched his
God,
tent. Drink.
Yeah.
bless it.
Emily has to drink
I will.
for that
I will.
one.
I was gonna laugh, but you laughed before me.
And Laban with his relatives encamped in the mountain of Gilead. Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done, that you have deceived me and carried away my daughters like captives of the sword? Why did you flee secretly and deceive me and didn't tell me that I might have sent you away with mirth and with songs and with tambourine and with harp, and didn't allow me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Now have you done foolishly.
Ooh.
It is in the power of my hand to hurt you, but the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, 'Take heed to yourself that you don't speak to Jacob either good or bad.' Now, you want to be gone, because you sore longed after your father's house. But why have you stolen my gods?"
Oh.
Snap.
Little baby idol gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob answered Laban, "Because I was afraid, for I said, lest you should take your daughters from me by force." With,
Yeah.
okay.
Unless you should take.
Can we find another translation for that to understand that a little better?
Sure, I'll look for it.
I was afraid that you were just going to take your daughters and then we would be not friends anymore.
All the translations just say, like, I was afraid because I thought you would take your daughters away from me by brute force.
Oh, as in if I say I'm leaving, then you're going to be like, no, I'm keeping my daughters here.
Yeah, I guess
No,
so.
no, because this is in response to the question about the idols. Like, why have you stolen my gods?
Because I thought
Okay,
that
wait. There's more. Okay, he
Yes,
goes
you
on.
just got to go on. Yeah.
With whoever you find your gods, he shall not live. Before our relatives discern what is yours with me and take it. For Jacob didn't know that Rachel had stolen them. Oh. It's an important...
Rachel.
Everyone's lying to everyone.
Yeah.
This is really bad communication.
Okay, here we go. Do you have anything to add, or...
No, yeah, just I see
keep
now.
reading?
Now it makes sense. Yeah.
Laban went into Jacob's tent, into Leah's tent, and into the tent of the two maidservants, but he didn't find them. He went out of Leah's tent and entered into Rachel's tent. Now, Rachel had taken the teraphim, put them in the camel's saddle, and sat on them.
I bet she did.
Brilliant, Rachel.
Yeah.
She was like, what? Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on it.
Laban felt about all the tent, but didn't find them. She said to her father, don't let my lord be angry that I can't rise up before you, for the manner of women is on me.
What does that mean? She on her period?
She's on
That's
her
what she's
period.
saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So she's clever. She's like,
I gotta sit. I gotta sit here. I can't.
He'll be too freaked out.
And he'll
if
be
I
way
say
too
that.
freaked out. He
So,
can't touch me, or
yeah. Jeez.
I assume.
Why
I don't
does
know.
she want these though? That's what I don't
That
get.
is an excellent question.
Like, why does
Maybe
she
she's
want-
really angry at her dad. But I guess it's from a time when, like, if you're a nomadic, your only options for handling your period is to just, like, sit on a log for a couple days, essentially. People did that. Or sit and bleed into the earth. Like, people did that too.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? Think about it. What else are you going to do?
I don't know.
You don't wear underwear.
I don't know.
Find a what?
Find a piece of toilet paper. A big old piece.
You probably, maybe you'd find some
boy.
wool. Maybe some wool would probably work.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
suppose,
wool
yeah.
would be good, probably. Yeah.
Maybe a little
well.
itchy, but...
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, the manner of women is on me. He searched, but didn't find the teraphim. Jacob was angry and argued with Laban. Jacob answered Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin that you have hotly pursued me?
You're using your Job voice right now.
Oh, sorry.
Because it's a very
I am
similar
Job.
thing. It's like, what have I done? Like, tell me, what is
Hang
the
on.
thing that I have
Can I
done
please
that
keep
you're...
going?
Okay,
God,
sorry.
what did I do? God.
Now that you felt around in all my stuff, what have you found of all your household stuff? Set it here before my relatives and your relatives that they may judge between us two. These 20 years have I been with you. Your ewes and your female goats have not cast their young, and I haven't eaten the rams of your flocks. That which was torn of animals I didn't bring to you. I bore the loss of it. Of my hand you required it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was. In the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep fled from my eyes. These 20 years I've been in your
20
house.
years. Okay.
Whoa.
I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock, and you have changed my wages 10 times.
Dang.
Unless the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac has been with me, surely now you would have sent me away empty. God has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked you last night.
I see. So maybe... Okay. So maybe it's shady, yes, but maybe more justified if this is true, right? If like Laban's also been super shady and taking advantage of him, that him trying to like breed a few more creatures for his entourage is acceptable.
Okay. Laban answered Jacob, the daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. And what can I do to this day to these my daughters, or to their children whom they have borne? Now come. Let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be for a witness between me and you. Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar, because that's all we got.
Threw a bunch of oil on it.
Just tossed it, had a nice little, like, balsamic reduction.
Wait, keep going. Keep going.
Okay, Jacob said to his relatives, gather stones.
Gather.
They took stones and made a heap. They ate there by the heap,
Yummy.
incidentally.
Heapside dining.
Laban called it
What?
Jigar Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Gilead. Clearly the better option.
Jacob was like, nah, that's
It's like,
a little
no.
much. Let's call it
No.
Gilead.
Laban said, "This heap is witness between me and you this day." Therefore it was named Gilead and Mizpah, for he said, "Yahweh watch between me and you when we are absent one from another. If you will afflict my daughters, and if you will take wives besides my daughters, no man is with us. Behold, drink. God is witness between me and you." Laban said to Jacob, "See this heap, and see the pillar which I have set between me and you. May this heap be a witness, and the pillar be a witness, that I will not pass over this heap to you, and you will not pass over this heap and this pillar to me for harm."
Wow. What?
This is a lot, guys. This is a lot. I don't know.
They're like, "This is my line, and that's your line in the bedroom, and you can't cross over my line. I can't cross over your
The
line."
terms of this contract are confusing.
I know.
I don't
Okay.
exactly. I hope that Jacob knows what's going on, because I certainly don't.
But wait, okay, so far though, if Jacob takes any wives besides his daughters, then what?
No man, like, we're cursed essentially.
No man is with us.
But he's assuming God is going to keep track of all this.
Yeah,
I see.
God's got it.
Okay.
God's
The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us. Then Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Jacob offered a sacrifice in the mountain and called his relatives to eat bread. They ate bread and stayed all night in the mountain.
That sounds nice.
Early in the morning, Laban rose up and kissed his sons and his daughters and blessed them. Laban departed and returned to his place. Whew.
Wow.
Boy,
That was a lot. That was a lot.
That was a
guys.
lot.
Yeah. So what have we taken away from this?
That Laban was like, he just wanted to kind of get even. Laban and Eben. Laban wanted to get even with his son-in-law, Jacob.
Yeah, they're just
I
like
guess so.
like scamming each other left and right.
Yeah, but he's like, come on, man. Like, you're not going to take any more wives. Like, you've had enough sons. Come on. You've had a
Please.
lot
Just-
of sons.
11,
11.
right? Because well, God, I've already forgotten her name. She's Leah had 6, right? She had the 4, and then she had the 2
Yes.
more.
Yeah, and then Rachel had Joseph and the Amazing Couple.
She had Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Thank you.
And then both of them had handmaids that had 2 each.
They just had 2 each?
Yeah, I
yeah.
think so.
that's
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11
11.
childs altogether.
Wow.
With Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat being the youngest.
So what happens next?
So Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, the musical, is about to happen.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to pop off,
Oh
right?
my gosh. Andrew Lloyd Webber is going to enter and be the writer of this story?
Okay, hang on. I have a question for you,
Yeah.
Emily. Do you have any predictions about where the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat comes in?
No, I have no idea. I mean,
Guesses?
Do you know? Yeah, what do you know about that story?
nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
So
Not a
where
thing.
where does he get the Dreamcoat?
From God.
Come on.
What? No?
Well, I mean, sure. Okay, maybe.
God gives people things.
Has God actually given people things? Think back.
No.
Other than land. Other than promising land and descendants.
Oh, I know. He's gonna get it from a big old king, and the king is going to be basically like, it's going to be a shady deal, and the deal is going to end in Joseph getting this amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
That's actually really good.
That's pretty good storytelling.
That would-
But...
It would
Well,
fit with
obviously.
the family line, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so your story
And
is
then
that
they're gonna
like
sing
is it
about
that
it.
like Joseph wants the dream coat and so he finds a way to scam the king into somehow giving him the coat?
It's probably like he's gonna have a wife that's hot, and he's gonna be like, "Yo, this is my sister." I don't know, and then he's gonna see this pharaoh with an amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and he's gonna be like, "I don't know, like she's my sister. Do you want her? Yeah,
Yeah, just give me that coat.
Can I have this coat for my sister?"
That's good.
And then he's gonna make out with his sister, and then the guy will be like, "Oh my god, yikes! Here's the coat. Get out of
We're
here."
incorporating all the
Okay.
tropes. Also the trope of like trading off things for really insignificant things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like your birthright for some stew.
Gosh. Yeah, I
Your
wonder
wife for
how
a coat.
soon we're going to get to the story of the actual Technicolor Dreamcoat.
We gotta be getting close.
Is it
Right.
all? There's so much in Genesis, guys.
There's
Yeah.
so much
Guys,
compared to Job.
Genesis
So much.
is a lot of story.
I found a Wikipedia article recently that's just a listing of films based on the Bible.
Uh-huh.
And it's broken down by like section of the Bible,
Yeah.
by books of the Bible, and by far the largest section of all of the Old Testament is Genesis.
Of course.
In fact, it's almost entirely Genesis. Like,
Well,
there's not a
so
lot that's
much
not
that
Genesis.
happens.
And then there's, of course, a bunch of New Testament stuff about Jesus, but like so much Genesis stuff.
We should definitely watch some of those Old Testament Genesis Bible stories. I think that'd be great fun.
I think that'd make for some good bonus content.
We should watch like the 10 Commandments or like those movies.
Yeah, once we get there.
Totally. There's already
The last days of Judas Iscariot. No, wait, that's later.
New Testament. Yeah. There's like 10 different Adam and Eve movies.
What?
There's 5 different Genesis. There's 5 different movies of the flood. There's 3 all about Abraham. There's 3 movies about Sodom and Gomorrah.
What?
There's 3 movies about Jacob.
What?
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies about Joseph.
What?
So there's like a lot.
So Joseph and the Amazing Dreamcoat.
Yeah.
Like times 8?
And then
It's a popular story.
gajillion about Moses, which we won't be
Moses.
there for a while.
And
but
Moses is a very epic story.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, cool.
It's one of my-
There's a sea that's parted and it's red. Or are those different things?
No, those are the same thing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
no, I think you're confusing the Nile turning red.
Wait,
Anyway.
what sea did he part then?
It was called the Red Sea, but
Okay,
also the Reed
yeah.
Sea, and so it's maybe a
Wait,
see.
but I recall like a very like epic shot of like a guy walking through a parted Red Sea.
Was it? It was red?
and it was red in color.
You sure it just wasn't called the Red Sea? Because it was called the Red Sea.
Yeah.
I thought it was red. I don't know. Maybe I'm
excited for Moses because it is one of my favorite. At least it was as a child. One of my favorite stories from the Old Testament.
Well, it's a long one, too.
It's a long one. Yeah.
He's a lot of Exodus.
Yes.
But that's not till we
it's
get
Exodus.
to...
For
Yeah.
the next book. After
Maybe
this
I'm
one.
thinking of Moana. And with that, I think this has been a fun time, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. So I hope you all will join us next week on Drunk Bible Study. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including bonus episodes, new series, guest interviews, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Biblecast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Dedeker Winston, Jace Lindgren, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for the Book of Genesis is Fanfare for Space by Kevin MacLeod. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad. He's in a book club. Whoa. He's got a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional